The Widow of Zarephath, faith that fed a miracle. Have you ever looked at what's in your hand and thought, this can't possibly be enough? You've got one last meal, one last option, one final chance. And then someone comes and says, give it to me first. Would you? Today we're talking about a woman who said yes to God when she had nothing left, and how her yes unlocked provision in the middle of a famine. The land was dry, no rain, no crops, no food, and in a small, forgotten town called Zarephath, a widow was gathering sticks. She wasn't rich, she wasn't powerful, she was preparing to cook a final meal for herself and her son before they waited to die. Then the prophet Elijah shows up, and he says, bring me a little water, and while you're at it, bring me a piece of bread. The widow turns and says, I'd only have a handful of flour and a little oil. I'm preparing it for me and my son, so we may eat it and die. Now, imagine that. A stranger shows up in the middle of your crisis and asks for the little you have left. But Elijah answers with faith. Don't be afraid. Make mine first, and the jar of flour will not run dry. And she obeyed. She didn't argue. She didn't delay. She went and did exactly what Elijah said. And just as God promised, the flour didn't run out. The oil didn't dry up. Day after day, in the middle of a national famine, her kitchen was overflowing with God's supply. Not because she had much, but because she gave what she had in faith. Let's pause here. How many times have you said to yourself, when I have more, I'll give more. When I feel strong, I'll step out. But the miracle didn't come after the abundance. It came after obedience. That widow teaches us something our modern world forgets. Faith is not about what you have. It's about what you do with what you have. You may not have millions, but you have a seed. You may not have a platform, but you have a voice. You may not have the full picture, but you have enough to take the next step. God is still asking people today, will you trust me with your little? Because in the hands of God, little becomes limitless. Let me ask you, what's the handful of flour in your life? What is God asking you to give, even when it seems like you need it more? Drop your answer in the comments.
Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to turn your last into legacy just like the widow who fed a prophet and unlocked a miracle.